First and foremost, I just want to say, let me just let the timer run down here a second so I can skip the YouTube monetization problem. Fuck, bro. Damn, dude. Dude, oh my god, bro. I was on a plane, bro. I missed all of this, by the way. I missed the main card. Sounds like it was a great. I picked Jorge Masvidal. A lot of people are like, bro, nice pick, dude. This is aging really well. I don't give a fuck, bro. Like I, I picked an underdog, um, and I had good reason. I didn't just pick him because I was like, I don't know, I think he's gonna win. I actually picked him for a good reason. He lost. Oh well, it happens, you know. Give Gilbert Burns the next title shot, or give him Bilal Muhammad. That's my next fight to make for him. But I'll talk about every fight I want to see. Is he KO'd Pereira out cold? My question is, why the fuck? Like, how the fuck is this guy KOing Pereira out cold, but he can't even KO like what's his name, Jared Cannonier or Marvin Vettori, bro? Like, what sense does this make that he can't even KO Cannonier, but he's fucking KOing Alex Pereira dead? And dude, Pereira got slept bad. So the first, I guess I'll go through all the fights from bottom to top. But dude, the most disappointing outcome, the only outcome I actually care about is the fact that Adrian Yanez got slept, bro. Dude, Adrian Yanez getting KO'd makes me want to commit crimes, bro. It really does, dude. It really does, bro. It makes me. I guru'd myself, bro. I got guru'd, bro. I picked all the fights wrong, and I was very confident in these top three fights. Not really this Masvidal one, but I picked them. You know, I'm gonna stick by. But yeah, dude, I kind of guru'd myself here, bro. You know, and you guys that want to comment and talk shit, I love it, bro. You know, I deserve it. I do it. So you know, fair plays, bro. Izzy fans, they're never gonna fucking live this one down. You know, respects. Kevin Holland won as well. Raul Rosas Jr. lost as well. So on the main card, I went 1-4. It's okay, bro. I don't care, dude. I don't care, bro, because I get one main event wrong. Oh well, like it doesn't really matter. So the first fight I want to see. Let me go into the early prelims because Bahamondes got a great win. Um, really just looks really clean on the feet. So I'm thinking Ignacio Bahamondes. Next fight should be Jamie Malaki. So I want to see Jamie Malaki versus Ignacio Bahamondes, maybe on the UFC 290 prelims, something like that. I don't know, maybe on a fight night. I think that'd be a cool fight. Okay. Then on the prelims, I actually did quite well on the rest of the card on my picks, honestly. Joe Pyfer KO'd GM3, the middleweight GOAT. So I think we give Joe Pyfer a title shot here, pretty much. No, okay. I think we should do Joe Pyfer versus Albert Duraev, right? Step one of my plan, of the master plan, is Joe Pyfer versus Albert Duraev. Then the winner of that can fight Bo Nickel. I think that's probably the best bet. That'd be a cool fight. Joe Pyfer versus Bo Nickel later down the line would be pretty cool. So yeah, I think Joe Pyfer looked really good, and he's got to take a next step up, someone close to the rankings. I think Albert Duraev's a good fight for him. Okay. Chris Curtis, Kelvin Gastelum. I picked Kelvin Gastelum. I'm so happy for him, dude. I think Chris Curtis should fight either Edmund Shabazian or Anthony Hernandez, depending on who wins that fight, because that's a fight that's been booked for a fight night. So I think the winner of that should fight Chris Curtis. That makes a lot of sense. Maybe he fights someone else outside the rankings. Maybe he fights Joe Pyfer if the UFC really loves Joe Pyfer, but I don't think they'll do that. I think Chris Curtis versus either Shabazian or Hernandez makes a lot of sense. And as for Gastelum, bro, I think there's a fight that makes a lot more sense for him now that he's coming off a win as a main event. Let's do Gastelum versus Imavov. Let's do Gastelum versus Imavov on a UFC fight now, or maybe on the prelims of a pay-per-view. I think that's a pretty cool fight. I think Gastelum could win that, and then we're talking Gastelum versus, you know, Dolidze, or Gastelum versus, not Brunson, Hermanson, or something like that. Maybe down the line, but I think his next fight should be against Nasruddin Imavov, okay? Moving on to the main card, alright? Fucking Raul Rosas Jr. He would do a better job at finishing me in the third round if I didn't gas out. So Raul Rosas Jr. gassed out. Who would have thought with such a smushed face that breathing would be such a problem for him? Crazy. Like I said, round one, if he got it done in round one, I think he would. What a dumb statement. He would have got it done in round one. but I knew that if he didn't get it done in round one, he wouldn't get it done the rest of the fight. But yeah, Christian Rodriguez really exposed his cardio and his striking. So great win for Christian Rodriguez. I think he should take on Trevin Jones next. He just fought Cody Garbrandt, so he's quite close to that outside the rankings area. He's coming off a loss, a couple of losses actually, and I think that's a good step up for Christian Rodriguez. As for Raul Rosas Jr., I think there's a perfect fight out there for him. A pretty winnable matchup. Basically, he's fighting a guy who just shadow boxes. I think he should fight Ricky Turcios next. I think we should do Raul Rosas Jr. versus Ricky Turcios. Maybe on a Mexico pay-per-view. Um, Whatever card they do, fucking, I don't know, what's it called? They do Grasso versus Shevchenko 2 on, Moreno versus Pantoja. Let's put Raul Rosas Jr. versus Ricky Turcios on that card, okay? So then, Kevin Holland came through clutch. I knew he'd get the KO. We got Kevin Holland beating Santiago Ponzinibbio. He called out Masvidal, but Masvidal retired, as we'll talk about later. So I think Kevin Holland should fight Neil Magny. I think that makes perfect sense. I don't want to see Jack Della Maddalena versus Neil Magny. I want to see JDM versus Luque. So I think we should do Kevin Holland versus Neil Magny. That's a good test for him. Still pretty winnable matchup. Neil Magny kind of sucks, depending on the night, but so does Kevin Holland. So that's an exciting matchup. That would fit really well on like a pay-per-view main card opener or a pay-per-view prelims or something like that. But yeah, I think Kevin Holland should take on Neil Magny next. I think he deserves a ranked opponent after beating a guy like Santiago Ponzinibbio, who I was watching coming out for this fight going, bro, if he fucking wins this, he might get like a top 10 guy. Like, I think the UFC really wanted to set Ponzinibbio back up to the top 10 after he lost his number 6 spot due to illness, but unfortunately he's not there anymore. He's got a couple of losses on his record now, and I think he needs a bit of a step down in opponent, and I thought of the perfect opponent. Let's do Santiago Ponzinibbio versus Joaquin Buckley at welterweight. I think that's a beautiful fight. That's an exciting matchup. You can put that as the co-main event of a fight night, maybe on the prelims of a pay-per-view, big pay-per-view later down the year. And I think both of these guys make sense fighting each other. Ponzinibbio still pretty high up at welterweight, but coming off a couple of losses, needs a step down. And Joaquin Buckley is trying to make a big impact, trying to make a good debut at welterweight. And I think Ponzinibbio is a good first opponent for him. Win, lose, or draw, highly ranked. Decent matchup for him, I would say, but still pretty dangerous as well. So that's an exciting fight as well. And yeah, so I think Ponzinibbio versus Buckley and Holland versus Magny is the way to go. Now for this fight, dude. Adrian Yanez lost, bro. I'm gonna fucking end it all, dude. I feel like Jamie Pickett right now, bro. Oh my god, dude. He got KO'd. How do you KO Adrian Yanez, but you can't KO Cody Anyways, good fight. Respects to Rob Font, bro. Fuck you. No, I like Rob Font. I'm happy for him. I'm really sad Adrian Yanez lost. I think Rob Font, pretty obvious fight of what to do next. Let's do Rob Font versus Peter Yan in Abu Dhabi later this year. Or maybe sooner if both of them are ready. They didn't really take any damage in both of their last fights. So let's do Rob Font versus Peter Yan on a pay-per-view. On the main card of a pay-per-view. That's a really fun, exciting fight. And looking a little bit more winnable now for Rob Font, let's be honest, bro. So I think Rob Font versus Peter Yan, 3 rounds, is a very, very exciting matchup. And as for Adrian Yanez, I think there's 2 options for him. Both of these guys are probably going to have one more fight before they fight Adrian Yanez. I want my boy to take some time off and just recover and work on everything. So I think Adrian Yanez should fight either Cody Garbrandt or Jonathan Martinez in his next fight. So it may be Jonathan Martinez loses his next fight because he robbed Said Nurmagomedov, or Cody Garbrandt loses to Dominic Cruz. Then I think we should do Adrian Yanez versus Cody Garbrandt or Jonathan Martinez. I think both of those guys are guys that you should be trying to set up Adrian Yanez with, because that's a lot more winnable for him. Still big names, still good in the rankings, all that stuff. A little bit of a step back to kind of rebuild them. Yeah, so I think Adrian Yanez either has to fight those guys or maybe Javid Basharat if they're going to go completely unranked, but tough to say with the UFC what they want to do with Adrian Yanez. Those are my 3 options for him, okay? Now we get to the co-main event. Gilbert Burns. Apparently this was not a close fight. I didn't see the fight. I only saw the statistics, and I saw that Masvidal retired, which we all kind of knew was going to happen if he lost. Burns apparently won quite easily, so good on Burns. Not super impressive, I guess. I don't know. It's just I'm not giving you a title shot, dude. I'm not giving you a fucking title shot, bro. Get the fuck out of here, dude. I think Gilbert Burns, here's what's probably going to happen. He's probably going to get a title shot. He's probably going to be the backup for Edwards versus Covington. Sorry, I just scratched my nuts. I think he's going to be the backup for Edwards versus Covington. But if he does need one more fight, let's do Gilbert Burns versus Bilal Muhammad International Fight Week. I think that's a great fight for that main card. Pretty winnable for Gilbert Burns. And Bilal Muhammad deserves a title shot more than you, bro. He really fucking does. He's got more fucking like top 10 wins than anybody in the fucking title race right now. So I think we should do Gilbert Burns versus Bilal Muhammad International Fight Week UFC 290. But the UFC will probably let him sit out and get a title shot, to be honest, because he has said yes to everybody, and I do respect that about Gilbert Burns. So either he sits out or he fights Bilal Muhammad. Honestly, are his best options. Main event, okay. Israel Adesanya KOs Alex Pereira out cold. Can't KO Jared Cannonier though somehow. It's just crazy, bro. You know, I don't fucking get this sport, dude. But it's, you know, good for him. That was a badass moment too, bro. He put him out bad. Fucking unloads the clips of the arrows on him. That was cool. See, this is the Izzy that we like, bro. I like Izzy when he does shit like that. I don't give a fuck, dude. That was cool as hell. I'm not even that big of a Pereira fan. Like, I didn't pick Pereira because I'm like, oh, I fucking love Pereira, dude. Like, or because I hate Izzy. You know, I find Izzy very cringy. And would I say I'm a fan? No, absolutely not. But I gotta respect him, bro. That was a badass finish. And fucking unloading the clip, dude, that shit was cold, man. So I think obviously the next fight to make is Israel Adesanya versus Robert Whittaker 3 in August or September. Give one of those pay-per-views a headliner because the UFC is going to build up 290. They're going to build up like this July card as well in England. And I feel like the UFC is going to leave a little bit of a dead zone in the middle, like we're just seeing now. Amanda Nunes versus Pena's headlining pay-per-view. So let's save Adesanya versus Whittaker for like August or September for a card that we need a main event on. And put Chimaev versus Costa as a fight night main event, or maybe on the same card. Pereira. I don't think he should move up to light heavyweight. Here's why. He just got fucking chinned, bro. Dana White's talking about send this guy to light heavyweight. Why? So he can get KO'd by fucking Rakic, bro. So he can get KO'd by Anthony Smith. Fuck no. Keep him at middleweight. Put him against Marvin Vettori. Fight night main event in the Apex. Or maybe they do a Brazil card. Put him in the main event versus Marvin Vettori. 5 rounds. Probably wins that fight, to be honest, by KO. Or, TKO or something like that. Because Marvin Vettori's striking's not that good. And his wrestling's not that good. Okay? So Alex Pereira, take some time off. Fight Marvin Vettori, fight night main event. Then fight the winner or the loser of Chimaev versus Costa. Because if the winner gets a title shot, then Chimaev won. And if Costa wins, then fight Paulo Costa. And boom, there you go. You get your shot back to the belt. Okay? So that's every fight to make after UFC 287. What did you guys think of this card down below, boys? Let me know, bro. Let me hear it down below about my picks as well. I'm going to be back next week with my Max Holloway, Arnold Allen picks. I'm getting back on the horse with my good picks. Otherwise, I didn't predict Adrian Yanez getting KO'd by Rob Font. Sorry. I kind of took a chance on the Masvidal fight. And, no, I didn't see any other fucking YouTubers picking Adesanya. So, I don't really give a fuck what you have to say about Izzy, bro. I'm coming back next week with a vengeance. Trust. Alright? Botched. I'm going to leave you guys frozen like Elsa. Trust. Alright? Thank you for watching, boys. Make sure you subscribe. Go follow my Instagram. And yeah, see you in the next video. Love you guys. Goodbye.